we all know that sort of compare and despair model, that if we compare ourselves to others, it's not going to be good. But for a lot of people in the public eye, especially if you're in a girl band, you might not be comparing yourself to anybody else, but everyone's comparing you to them. So it's sort of inescapable. And, I know that feeling. How many people have I been compared to that sort of blonde presenters, and I might be the sort of weirder one or the not so sexy one or whatever, and it's like, do I have to be in this hierarchy of why can't I just be me? Well, I have to fit into a box of what, and I know on a much lesser extent that plays havoc mentally with how you feel about yourself and your self-worth. And I don't know if it's even possible to summon enough strength to still feel okay about yourself with all of that outside noise. And from watching your documentary, we could see the full extent of that. I mean, it was horrendous, and it was bullying. It was simple, straight up bullying that you were subjected to all day, every day. And in the documentary, you explain that prior to X Factor, these weren't issues you were thinking about. You were just living your life, happy, doing your thing. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this bombardment of abuse. Do you think, I don't know if the documentary was part of this and the therapy you've done since, but do you feel you've healed from that situation?
I would say 60% of me has. I will never sit here and lie and be like, oh, I'm so happy now, I don't have any insecurities, as that's an absolute lie. I still have my insecurities, I still have my struggles. I guess the thing that I just feel I'm better with now is that silly little things, like now when I do a music video, I'm not looking on the camera and thinking, oh my God, I don't look as skinny as Leanne and Perry. I don't and that's what I did every single day. And for the first time ever, I did my music video and I enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. And I was like, this is the feeling I should have had the whole time. And I know people might not get it, but I think until you're in that situation, no one will ever really understand, how much pressure there is to be in a girl band and to live up to a certain standard of what you're supposed to look like when you're in a girl band. And
also just sort of anticipating a commentary about it. That's normal for people to then dissect anything about you, what you look like, what you sound like, what you're saying. That was so normalised for you that you would 100% expect a reaction of some kind after putting a video out, after a photo shoot. And that's not normal, but we've somehow we're so used to that. Oh yeah, everyone can say anything they want about anything now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Without any thought or, just consideration that you're a human being.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I still find it mental that there's no there's nothing been put in place yet still, any laws for Instagram and Twitter. And it's still mental to me that that's still not happened. But I don't know. I think it's different for me now because I'm now in a headspace where I can genuinely sympathise actually with people that say nasty things, because I think, God, you must have something really deep rooted, an issue within you to want to do that, because me and you would never go around thinking, I'm going to create a fake account and say nasty things to people. You've actually got to be quite a sad person to want to do that. Whereas back then I didn't have that mindset. I just genuinely felt like everyone hated me. So, but I feel really scared for the younger generation growing up now.
I feel so scared.
Yeah, because I obviously never had social media growing up. I just felt like I had a great childhood, with my friends. I didn't worry about anything, to be honest. And now I feel like it's just all about what people look like and how much money you've got and how well you're doing. And I do feel sorry for kids now.
I do, because what does that equate to? If you tick all the boxes as to what's going to get likes, what does that even mean? It doesn't equal happiness. No. I mean, you've proved that. You're a massively successful, famous pop star, gorgeous, doing your thing, and you were deeply unhappy. So we know that equation doesn't add up, but we still are working towards it. And I wonder, what's your relationship like with social media now? Do you look at any comments?
No, I don't, to be honest. My team have my Instagram, and I'll have days when I genuinely want to go on Instagram. And if I go on Instagram, it's because I don't have Twitter. I will never have that ever again. But with Instagram, if I want to go on there, I'll go on there. And normally I'll go on there to genuinely just chat to my fans. Some people might think it's a bit weird, but some of them have genuinely become my friends, which is really nice. And they'll just chat to me about their day and if they've got any issues or problems they're going through, and I generally like to chat to them and help them with that. And then sometimes I'll post content, but I don't really like to go on there because I feel like it's quite a... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's like, obviously there's a lot of positive things about Instagram, but there's quite a lot of negative, and I feel like it can really cloud my headspace when I go on there.
Yeah, well, when you've been through what you've been through as well, with that level of toxicity, I get it. You know, I've had it to some extent over my career, and I, like you, grew up before you, but with no social media. And I had a really, really awful patch where I felt everybody was saying stuff about me, and it was really negative, and it was untrue. And I still have a warped relationship with it, where I'll look at it, and some days I think, yeah, I can look at this and I don't feel affected by it at all, the negative or the positive.
Yeah.
And then other days you're almost looking to torture yourself.
Literally.
You want to sort of berate yourself and like punish yourself.
Yeah, it's so weird. That is literally the relationship that I had with it. From the beginning of when I started X Factor, I became obsessed with it. But I was like rationalising it in my head as though like, oh, well, if I keep reading these horrible comments, I'll just get used to seeing them. And then when I do see something bad, I'm so used to seeing it that it won't hurt as much. But it was the complete opposite. And yeah, but I'm very similar to you. Like if I'm having a bad day, it really affects me.
Yeah. And
then other days, it's like water off a duck's back. Like it generally doesn't bother me. But I'm quite a self-destructive person. I'm like, if I'm in a bad mood, everything's bad.
Yeah.
Like I hate the way I look. I want to read into everything that people are saying about me, and I just literally am on a path of going down. But if I'm like feeling good about myself, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I do it too. I self-torture, and then I will spiral out of control.
Yeah, literally.
And I thought at this point in my life I would be all right. I could like rationalise it and go, I know how this works. Yeah. This is fine. But I think it's really important to say it still affects you. And because
of course.
We need to see everybody as human beings who have lives. I'm not talking about just people in the public eye. This goes for anybody, whether it's circles at school or colleagues at work who are having a tough time. It's so important that we don't just look at that digital screen and disconnect from the humanness, because your documentary again hit home, and I had a massive I'm going to tell you this. I watched it with my husband. I had a huge cry afterwards because I thought I didn't honour the time when I went through something. It wasn't as public as you on a level of sort of bullying, I don't think, but I felt really vilified and really bullied, and I just kept thinking, well, there must be something I'm wrong, so I deserve this. I really believed that I deserved it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I really sat there and thought, maybe it's all right that I feel really upset about all that, rather than, no, I just had to get through it, or any situation in life where I felt dismissed or not seen or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a good release for me and a good chance to look back and go, God, that's really a lot to get through. And I don't want it to sound like, oh God, poor you, because people have been through far worse. But I don't think I ever honoured it.
But you're still human, and like just because people may go through worse situations, like you're still human with feelings, and you're absolutely in your own right to feel the way you feel, and that's like it's okay. Like I think like I'm very similar in that sense. Like I just was like, I just need to deal with this, and I never ever spoke about it because I just wanted to move past it and try and forget about it. But it made it 10 times worse. And I think through doing my documentary, I really realised that speaking to someone and genuinely like speaking my truth and letting people know really, really helped.
Have you ever looked at what you think the root fear might be when in context of those comments? Because I've sometimes thought, right, if someone's saying something really shitty about me, or back in the day when they would say all sorts of things, what is my real fear here? It can't just be people don't like me. Like, what does that even mean? I'm still safe, no one can hurt me. So what is my root fear? And I kept like going back and like underneath another fear. And I think my root fear is that I reject myself all the time. Yeah. So if they're rejecting me, maybe I am, all those awful things I think, and I should reject myself. But then what does that mean? Like, how do I live in this body and with these thoughts if I'm constantly rejecting myself? And I think it's an interesting process, because the fear that we think up here, oh, people don't like me, that's never really it. Do you think you know what's on those sort of subterranean levels of worry or fear?
No, but I know that I don't like people not liking me. Like, I know that's a big thing for me. Like, because when I have like it really, really does affect me when I see people say like horrible things. And like, I don't know, I've never actually really delved into that. Maybe that's something I need to do.
Yeah, because I think it takes the heat off the action, because then if you know, you think, oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I do have days, like when I'll generally sit, like when I'm having like shitty days and it affects me, I'll sit with my friends and they'll like probably like sit me down and be like, Jessy, do you really care about these people who literally do not even know you? They know nothing about you other than what they've seen. Like, do you actually care about what they think? Because the people that you should really care about and value opinions of are the people that love you and care about you. If we were saying this stuff to you, then I'd understand. And then I'll be like, okay, and I'll like check myself and I'll be like, okay. But I don't know, like, why when I'm having bad days, it really, like, I wish that I could just go throughout life, even when I'm having a bad day, I've just genuinely not given a shit.
Me too. I really do. And I really hope that I get there soon. Like, I'm always working towards it, and I'm definitely making big improvements, but I am so inclined to self-loathe. Like, it's just a little under the surface.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, I could say one thing that I think, oh, that wasn't quite right, or anything, and that's it. I will literally then go, I'm a bad mum, I'm a shit wife, I'm a terrible selfish friend, and I've created a whole story about that, which I think so many people do, but it's just then getting yourself out of that is...
So when you're like in that place, do you find it easy to get out of, or?
No, I could stew on that for days.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting better. It's getting quicker.
Yeah.
I think because I have had a lot of therapy, and actually the one thing that's helped me massively is having, I never get the letter order right, EMDR, I think it is, which is an eye movement therapy, but you can do like a tapping therapy as well.
Yeah.
That's taken the sort of panic side out of it. So when I self-loathe, it might be only a day, whereas before I could lose, I'm not even joking when I say 6 months of like feeling that bleak about myself. And like just like actually quite, this is, like gross. I'd feel gross, like I'm a gross person. And even not just physically, I'm just talking, I'm a gross person. And I think it hasn't helped being in the public eye for so long, because I've had it for way more than half my life.
Yeah.
And but it's quicker now. It's much quicker. How about you?
Yeah, I'm the same. It's definitely quicker. But I've also got like people around me that are very quick to be like, tell me about it.
Yeah.
So that obviously helps. But, you know, I do think that I am definitely getting better, but I'm exactly the same. Like, I don't know if it's like because I'm a Gemini, but like when I am down, I feel sorry for the people that are around me, because I'm not a nice person to be around.
Same.
And literally just everything's shit.
Yeah.
And it could be like, I could actually look really good in a photo and I'll be like, it's disgusting, I hate it, don't even show it to me. And it's just crazy, like how I'll literally like just self-destruct.
Well, you just latch on to anything you can because it's sort of feeding it,
and
isn't it, almost?
I can't seem to like get myself out of it. I can't seem to just ever find a positive. I'm a very, oh God, I'm really not painting a very good picture of myself, but I'm more likely to find a negative than I am a positive.
Yeah. I think I'm the same. And I think also it's sort of woven into our culture that we're not very celebratory about ourselves. We never go, but God, I'm really good at that.
Yes, but if you do that, then you're seen as cocky or arrogant.
Which is so bad.
Yeah, but I do think it's this country, because I feel like in America, they're like, they celebrate being confident. And over here, if you're like, a little bit confident in yourself, you're seen as arrogant and cocky, and like people just want to bring you down.
I know, we've got to change that, because how are we going to like ourselves if we can't say it out loud? And say, like, I did a really silly thing the other day. My dad taught me how to do wallpapering, because I've wanted to know for ages. It's deeply tragic. And I was so good at it instantly, and I loved it. I did 2 rooms, and my dad was like, how are you doing this? And I, even saying out loud, I'm so good at it. But I fucking was. I was really good at wallpapering.
But why shouldn't you say that?
I don't know.
It's like, I put up a post not long ago, like saying like we find it so much easier to like put ourselves down than we do to like big ourselves up. And that's not
healthy.
No, it's not helpful. It's not healthy. It's not normal.
No.
Like, we should be like, if we feel good, like, I look fucking good today.
Quite. We absolutely should.
Like,
and so to flip that on its head, so we've looked at negative comments and the fear that brings up, and the feelings that are all ours. You know, they don't belong to other people. There are feelings that come up. When we look at, say you put a post up on Instagram, as an example, and you got a million likes. Everybody loves it. All the comments are just, oh my God, you look amazing, you are amazing, blah, blah. Does that really hit the spot? Does that really boost you and make you feel like, yeah, I'm all right?
Yeah, probably, which is really sad, isn't it?
No, you're being honest.
Well, because it's like, yeah, in a way, you're getting people's approval and validation, aren't you? It's like people are saying, oh yeah, like I like what you're doing, like, and then as soon as people are negative, that's when you start to like question yourself and like doubt what you're doing. Yeah, it's not good.
Well, I guess it's a hard place to get to. I'm not there, but I guess the place we're all wanting to get to is contentment, where it just doesn't matter what anyone says.
Yeah.
And if you posted a picture where you thought you looked or sounded or said something amazing, if no one else agreed, that you could still feel those feelings.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No. And it's just crazy because I could put something up that I absolutely love, and then as soon as like if I was to see a few bad things about it, I then start to question it, and it's like, why do we do that? If I love it, it shouldn't really matter what anyone else thinks.
No, and everybody loves to have a little say these days about anything.
Yeah, like,
and create some sort of argument.
Yeah, a drama, and I'm just like, just piss off and just be nice. Like, it's not hard to be nice. Like, it really isn't.
No.
And honestly, I do sit and think that, like, when I see like these things that people write on my post, I think, what are you actually doing right now at home? Like, I want to know what this person looks like, and I want to know what they're feeling. And I'm like, because it must take so much energy to genuinely want to pick up your phone and be like, do you know what? I want to say something really shitty about her.
Yeah.
I can't ever imagine doing that.
Do you know what I did once? I mean, I've probably only done it once or twice, but someone put something really unwarranted on a post. I think I put something about mental health, and they put like yawn.
Oh God, I can't.
So I thought, that's interesting. That's interesting. So I thought, I'm going to have a little chat with her.
Yeah.
So I reached out in a nice way. I'm not up for an argument. I'm not even judging that person. But I'm just really interested as to why you would post it. And she put back this lovely thing, just saying, you know what? I feel like such an idiot. I was having a really shit day, and I just wanted to say something negative and release it out of myself.
How funny that she was having a shit day.
And then we had a really nice chat after that, and we had a really nice like, dialogue going.
But this is exactly my point. People that say negative things are either not happy, because no genuinely happy person would ever do that or feel the need to do that.
I know.